All right, so I have a couple of neighbors who had their trees pruned, and I just wanted to go over some mistakes that were made on pruning these trees. These are the results of arborists or wannabe arborists, who are maybe more landscapers, who tried to accomplish the residents' goals in a costly, efficient manner, but end up not doing a good job. So this first tree, they left enormous stubs. I don't even know if I can call them stubs at this point. They're still leads. I actually saw this process happening when they were pruning this tree. They weren't even climbing it using arborist gear. They were literally standing on top of the tailgate of their truck and even getting a ladder while the resident was holding the ladder for the guy. It was unsafe, to say the least. But the resident, who is just a renter, so I'm not even sure how much say he had in this, said that they're trying to get rid of leads on the tree, branching the tree, so that if some were to fall on our vehicle, which is parked pretty close underneath this tree, that we wouldn't sue them or something like that. But I think they just basically asked for their tree to be pruned, and as you can see, this tree was left with some very large leads. This is bad for the tree, the way they did it. The way that these leads are still going, there isn't a union where, so basically the tree is going to send up nutrients to these leads, and there isn't a lead that's going to sustain the nutrients. The leads that they left aren't big enough or aren't even close to the tip of the lead. So this tree is going to be inefficient in its nutrient transfer up to these leads. So basically, this tree also just lost other foliage to gather sunlight for photosynthesis, for energy for the tree. And so basically, it doesn't even look aesthetic. It is less efficient in its nutrient transfer, and it's not going to be getting as much energy. There may have been some mitigation of risk of branches falling on our vehicle, but I think all around they paid money for something that ended up being a crappy job that honestly they should have just kept their money and not even had their tree pruned from this company. Like, the company was only able to reach the lower leads, as you can see in this tree. The second tree is overall better, where it actually looked like when the cuts were made this winter before the leaves popped out, that professional cuts were made on this tree, where they actually made the cuts closer to the main lead of the branches they were taking. But this is a classic case of what's called lion's tailing. A lion's tail, as a lion has a skinny tail all the way to the end, where there's kind of a poof at the end of their tail. So basically how this equates to trees is all the leads leading up to the end of the branch were cut. So all these little branches along the tree were cut, and so that all that left is the poof at the end, or the leaves at the end. This causes a number of issues where a lot of growth was reduced on the tree. So basically it's going to start something called sucker growth, where these water sprouts are going to come out of the tree really quick to try to mitigate what was lost. The tree needs leaves to gain energy from the sunlight. It's gonna re-sprout those leaves really quickly as a stress response. Secondly, So basically that first step puts a lot of stress on the tree. Secondly, it's going to put structural stress on the tree. Basically, the ends of the leads are going to catch wind, and it's all going to be caught at the end of the tip instead of other leaves along the lead. The water shoot sprouts are going to produce some leaves, but definitely not as much as it had before. So in the wind, which we definitely have here in Colorado, it's going to shake the tree back and forth structurally, where in high winds, these leads might break and actually fall on the resident's house. So structurally, it's just not going to be as reliable. So honestly, this arborist, it looked like an actual arborist made these cuts and made good cuts, but not in the right places and too much cuts. So honestly, this will create more risk for the homeowner of leads falling on their house in high winds.